Where you wanna go, who you wanna be, or what you wanna do, just come with me. I saw God and I saw the fountains. You and me, girl, sitting in the Swiss mountains. Me, oh my, oh, me and I, oh, freer than a bird, cause I'm rockin' no hi-ho. Around the world, I feel beautiful. Take a wife, cause life is beautiful. I know for sure. Bing, bang, bong, bong, bing, bang, bong, bing, bang. I know it's you. Bing, bang, bong, bong, bing, bang, bong, bong, bing, bang. Mother Russia, you like supper. I know you're floating up and around the world, and I have seen your love. I know it's you. You say hello and then I say I do.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a year-end of in 2017, a show from what do we call ourselves? The Smelly Glove. That's right. Sorry about that. It's Dr. J. We have a full house. When was the last time I've been able to say that? Rev, say hello.
Hail, hail. We're so unprepared, we even forget the name of our own show.
That didn't take very long, did it? Paul back from Florida, back into Montreal.
Hail, hail, Happy New Year.
Hail, hail. Oh, yeah, that's right. Happy New Year. And Chris, just chilling down in, I say chilling down in Athens.
Yeah, just hanging out. Hail, hail. Happy New Year.
So who's got it the coldest today? Is it Paul?
I'd fucking hope so.
There were parts of the South yesterday that were colder than Alaska. Yesterday. That's how cold it was here. It's cold here. I'll tell you what, it's cold here in Myrtle Beach. It is ridiculously cold. We had snow in Myrtle Beach, so someone figure that out. Right now it's 31 degrees in Myrtle Beach. 31 Fahrenheit.
What's our real money?
Zero.
What's it Celsius?
Zero. So 32 would be
31,
zero.
that's just freezing.
So yeah, it's fucking cold, man. Anyway, so Paul, I know you. Speaking of which, so I guess we could talk a little about the game against the Undead. But where were you, Paul? You watched the game where?
Yeah, I was in the Orlando CFC. So I went down to the Lucky Leprechaun on International Drive in Orlando, and I think there's about 120 to about 150 people there. We lucked out because we actually thought the game was 7:30. It wasn't. It was obviously 7 o'clock. We got there what we thought was getting there a little bit early to get a seat, and turned up with about 2 minutes before kickoff. So managed to get a seat. Shame about the result, but it was a cool wee bar. It was something a bit different because obviously with all the tourists in Orlando, it's absolutely rammed full of Celtic supporters. So it's probably the most people I've watched a Celtic game with.
Since you're in Celtic Park?
in a game. Since I've been at Celtic Park.
Yeah.
But, no, I suppose the Philly Failer would be most
Yeah.
I've seen within North America. But then that would take a second. So good shout out to the Orlando CSC. Putting a really good show. Obviously Celtic TV went down about 3 or 4, maybe 6 times, but that goes without saying. And it was good. Good times. So early start. Just shame about the result.
There you go. Rev, you got up early to watch it?
Yeah, just sprung up at like 6:58. Turned on. Just streamed it through Mobdro. casted it to the TV, so I had it. Somebody was doing a dodgy stream on YouTube, so I had it nice.
Yeah, that's a
high
nice
def.
setup, isn't it? When you catch those,
What's that?
someone doing that on YouTube is nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice setup. I like that. Because as long as their feed is decent, it's a decent watch.
There's one main guy who's been doing it for a while. I don't want to say his name, I want to give him props, but at the same time, I don't want to call him out and potentially get him in trouble. Now, we've got a million listeners anyway.
Right.
But he, people probably know who I'm talking about anyway. But he's been doing Celtic games. He just doesn't do. I guess it's a kid because he just says he doesn't do Celtic TV ones because he doesn't want to get in trouble or get his stuff cut off or whatever. But I guess he went away for vacation with his parents for Christmas or something, and his parents turned off the internet while they were gone, so it fucked up all of his settings for streaming. So he was supposed to do that game, the Hun game, and he came back and all of his settings were fucked up, so he couldn't do that game. But luckily, the people still were doing it.
Wow. Interesting. Chris, where were you? You watching at home?
Yeah, I mean, it's home of the, Honeyblue CSE. So that's, yeah.
Any Buckfast for the
also
morning?
referred to as my living room. Whatever.
Any Buckfast for the day?
Yeah. No, nay, Bucky. Typical Saturday, Sunday morning, thing. You just kind of roll out of bed and go turn everything on and hope that Jerry McCullough doesn't piss you off.
Yeah.
Bring back Summer Arl.
I'm.
No way, man.
Well, here's the thing. She didn't actually call the games. But he is. I mean, anyway, long story about him. I actually got to watch. I was in a shitty hotel in Memphis, Tennessee, and I had to go into the lobby and use the lobby computer and keep my hand on the mouse, because if you don't move the mouse every 30 seconds, it shuts off. And so now I have this nervous tick in my right hand from moving the mouse over and over and over again for 2 hours trying to watch the game. But even on that system, I mean, it's so weird, man. I mean, I'm watching Mobdro for halftime, clear as an absolute bell, just clear. And then I kept it on the second half. I forgot it was on. Kept it on, sitting right there next to me. And then I still had the Celtic TV running through the computer. The both of them, one's on Wi-Fi. The one's on Wi-Fi, the other one's a hardwired connection. And Celtic TV would just kind of flatten out, slow down, depixelate, and then I pixelate and then depixelate and then catch up and then slow down. It was dear God, please. So yeah, it was. And meanwhile, the Mobdro feed, clear. Not a problem. It's just, I don't know, man. And here's the worst part, right? For all the stuff, and I don't want to start off about. I guess if we're talking about what's happened in the last year, I guess Celtic TV is as big a thing as any. For all the stuff that we talked about, sent everything else to, and for all the people that and Paul, I don't know if you want to go ahead and comment to this. For all the people that want to go ahead and be, if you saw what the exchange was that we had a couple weeks ago on Twitter with John Paul, with JP. If there's going to be people out there that want to go ahead and defend the club and defend what's going on and go ahead and say, we shouldn't be taking pot shots at the club or the people who work for the club because of the service that we're getting. I don't know about you guys, but I still haven't gotten a response to anything that I sent over. Last thing I sent over, JP, was yep, I'll get you an answer back. And that's been weeks. I haven't heard anything. And, there's as you might say, there's some keyboard warriors that want to go ahead and say some things about the way we handle our business. But it's kind of tough when I'm trying to watch a game that I paid for to watch and and it looks like 1982, Madden on the screen.
Well, I just found it funny that the people defending Celtic TV and saying we shouldn't complain about it are Celtic season ticket holders who live in Scotland and don't watch Celtic TV. So
yeah, it's true. They don't have to worry about
they were like, they're like,
Jerry
it's not
McCulloch,
John-
do they?
It's not John Paul Taylor's fault. We're like, we know it's not John Paul Taylor's fault. He is supporters liaison officer. We've made the complaint over the last 5 years to Celtic Television. Actually, I first complained to Celtic TV in about 2009. So yeah, longer than that. But it's been ongoing for the last 5 years since I moved to Canada. And yeah, same answers all the time. It's basically just, well, we're going to get it working, and then you make a complaint, and they say you've got to document it. You document it, effectively just tell them what's happened, and they'll be like, yeah, we're going to get it fixed. Or they just ignore you and hope that they get it working next time. So they can be like, look, it worked once.
It worked.
They're like, well, they're like, it's not John Paul Taylor's fault. I'm like, well, he's a supporters liaison officer. He represents the fans. And if a supporters liaison officer goes further than just telling people what car park to go to and where they can and cannot hold their banners, they represent the fans. He represents the guys in North America as well. He came across, we've been over this again and again and again, but now we're not taking piss off anybody about getting told we can't complain to the supporters liaison officer about it. If Celtic TV aren't doing anything, then you go and speak to the supporters liaison officer. That's his job. So fucking calm yourself for anybody giving out that piss.
Isn't that the absolute truth?
And it wasn't anybody that listens to the show. So yeah. So we're not having to go at anybody listening in. So
No, they don't listen to the show. We know they don't listen to the show.
Actually,
So fuck them. I really don't care. How about that?
We're not actually having to go at anyone. We're just stating the truth, and that's what it is. John Paul Taylor's a good guy. We've got absolutely nothing against him, but he just wants someone to do their job, which is both him and Celtic TV, and get it working. So here we go. Yeah, we could be here all day talking about Celtic TV, which we normally do. Let's talk about the football then. Right, so 0-0 with the Huns, bit of a shit performance. I think Rangers had about 3 good chances, a couple of good saves from Gordon, who's under heavy criticism yet again for just because of the kickouts. In fact, we'll get back to Gordon later on, but I mean, I thought he had a good game. I thought Encham was good when he came on. I would have started with him. I felt Scott Brown looked like the only player that could give a fuck out there, considering some of the guys. I think some people are going overboard with Scott Sinclair criticism, saying he's a shite bag or this and that. But
yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't it?
I think it's not one or the other. I mean, it's like, no, he didn't have a great game, and no, he isn't a complete shite bag and a complete asshole. It was just like, well, no, he looked like he didn't want a part of some of the heavier challenges, and he could play well. He also looked, the second he was getting substituted, he looked glad to get out of there, which is not what you want to say from pretty much your star player for last season. So I think out of the man of the matches, if I had to pick 3 people, it'd be Gordon and Shan Brown. I don't know if anyone else really got huge pass marks. Chris, what do you make of it?
I mean, the first half was absolutely dreadful. I thought we looked flat from the very get go. And then Bruni was really the only bright spot I thought in the first half, and then, when we brought Encham on, he shined for me again. I think that cat is a huge player. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's going to do the rest of his career. But all in all, man, I honestly think this break came at the right time. I think we all, expect him to be crisp and sharp and blah 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 blah. But they had a short summer. They've had Champions League qualifiers. Like it's just been nonstop for them. So I think them getting a little bit of a break is going to give us. It gives us perspective as fans to really take it in. All of 2017, besides the Champions League, domestically we lost 1 game. All of 2017.
You made the point there about looking tired.
We just looked like we were ready for a break. This break is well deserved and well needed. So that's kind of how I left the Huns match. Basically, it was like, you know what, we drew 0-0, and I'm okay with that. I mean, that was kind of like a relief. Like, okay, this physical year is over, and now we can get some rest and kind of rebuild and start again. That's kind of how the end result of that match settled for me.
Yeah, I think someone, Moravchik67 on Twitter, put out a stat that I don't think any player, no team in any top division in Europe has played more games this season than Celtic, which puts everything into perspective. I mean, Rev, are you the same? Do you think we just looked tired? I mean, was there anyone in the game that you felt deserved pass marks? Are we going overboard with the criticism of the players, or how do you feel about
No,
it?
I think you all said it. It was pretty much Gordon minus his distribution and Brown and Cham. Griffith, I would say maybe he put an asterisk next to his name just for the fact that once he came on, he just wasn't getting the ball. By that point, the midfield had kind of shut down and we were just in turtle shell defensive mode. So he maybe got 2 passes to him, 3 maybe that I can really think of. So you can't really say, oh, he had a bad game or he was shit when he wasn't even getting the ball. He was just an island unto himself. So he kind of, can't really fault him for that. So yeah, I mean, as far as that was that game. But yeah, no, the tired part, like that was, just that week alone, that was their 3rd game. They've had a busy December, a busy November. I just saw today they played from July to the Hun game. They played 38 games in, 6 months or so. So that's a full, SPFL schedule, league schedule condensed into 6 months. That's fucking crazy, between the league, the cup games, Champions League plus qualifiers. So yeah, no, it's evident how fucking tired they are. So yeah, the break came. It sucks, like that game against that opponent is not how I wanted to end 2017. I think it's not a fair way to go out on the year, on just what a massive year it was. Kind of ended on, I would say a bad note, but just kind of like just not how I think, the year deserved to go out. Like we should have gone like 4-0, hammered them at home, massive party. That's what 2017 deserved. And it's a shame that we didn't go out like that, and that we have to go, 3.5 weeks till the next game. And we just have to have that, 0-0 draw against the Hun just kind of sitting, on our tongues, that bad taste just kind of sitting there, lingering for, so long, till our next game.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly how I felt. That, like, at the end of everything of 2017, while it left a bad taste in everybody's mouth, I think, drawing with the Huns at home. At the same time, like, you can't look back at 2017 and not just like swell up with all kinds of pride, because, I mean, look at everything that we've accomplished, in 2017 as fans, as players, the backing of the team. It's remarkable what kind of memories were made last year. And when you try to put that into a different perspective, which is that they're professional footballers, And, you know, they are professional athletes that do get tired, just like every other human being. And, you know, you kind of take all of that back and kind of refocus your energy on, like, you know, it's beginning to show for a while that they're tired. Like, it probably started in October, November, that, like, hey, like, they're just kind of going through the motions, and because of their talent and the, you know, the skills they do have, that we could just kind of coast through some of those games. But, I mean, you know, there was a Hibs game that I remember very distinctly that I was like, well, if it's gonna, you know, if the unbeaten streak's gonna end, you know, I guess it wouldn't be that big of a deal if it was Hibs. I mean, you know, like, I don't ever want them to lose or draw or whatever, but, you know, I was thinking that the streak was ending and we came back, and, you know, that was a kind of a warning sign then that, like, hey, these guys are worn the fuck out. Like, you know, let's give them time to go to Tenerife and get mobbed by thousands of Celtic fans that wanted a picture with you because you showed up in there with a centenary top on. I mean, like, I think the guys just need some sleep, to relax, to be human beings again, and then, you know, whenever they can, you know, get back together and start practicing and playing and getting back into the routine, then I think they're going to be refreshed, and it's going to be like kind of hitting the reset button. So
isn't that what happened last year? We came back and then
yeah,
hit the gas.
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. And, you know, I never put that out on Twitter because, like, I saw all the infighting between Celtic fans on Twitter about, like, you know, oh, you know, the Huns drawing and blah, blah, blah. Like, it just got kind of gross, so I just kind of ignored most of it and just kind of kept that to myself. But those guys were dog tired, period. And, you know, all the best to them.
Well, I think we've got a long, long time till the next game of football. I think, was it the 24th of January or something?
20th,
something
23rd?
Along those lines.
Wrekin City?
23rd. It's just a long, long time.
23rd?
Yeah. Almost 3 weeks off for the guys. They're going to get a long break. It's well needed. I don't think I've ever seen a team that needs a break more than those guys. Such a huge season for them. And I think we really benefit from the winter break. Imagine if we didn't have the winter break like England. If Celtic right now going into January having to play cup games and God knows what else over the course of January, it'd be absolutely ridiculous. But well, obviously, with no games coming up, I should probably talk about the transfer window, which is now wide open. So we'll talk about. I've got 2 things to talk about that affect our transfer window, and then we'll talk about players' ins and outs. And I've got a quick little list that I want you guys to kind of give your opinion on, if that's cool. So the first things we should actually talk about before we talk about transfer window is Paddy's injury and Rodgers' injury. So, does anyone know the updates on how long our boys Rodgers and Paddy are out for?
Rodgers should be back after the break.
Sorry, one at a time?
Rodgers should be back after the break.
Okay, so Rodgers should be back after the break.
Right.
And Paddy?
Rev should know.
I think initially they said February sometime.
Well, I suppose the break came in the right way for him as well. So let's talk about. We're going to break the play. Well, another thing we need to talk about before we talk about players ins and outs is the obvious one, Virgil van Dijk.
Real quick, and you know, obviously Johnny Hayes is done for the season.
Yeah, I hear that. That's terrible news. It's a shame because it looked like he was actually playing his best football for Celtic since coming. Maybe starting to click for him a little bit and leg break. So shout out to Johnny Hayes. Get well soon, mate. Hope this doesn't affect your career too badly because, I mean, I don't think he's played particularly well, but he's obviously a trier. And I think he could do a lot better than he was doing, and he's starting to come on. So big shout out to him. But we'll talk about a little bit of a positive then. Virgil van Dijk. Sell-on fee. Ka-ching. I mean, no one really knows officially how much we're getting, but some people are saying 10%, some people are saying 12%, some people are even saying 20%, but it's a huge amount of money considering it's 75 million, which is world records for a defender. Do you think everyone is going to start taking notice now that the world's most expensive defender in the history of ever is basically a product of Celtic?
Hey, listen, when you lay it out, I mean, let's say the numbers I've read at 7.5 million, somewhere in there, minus 15% of whatever, minus what they paid, 12 and some. I mean, if let's say it's 7.5, let's say it is 7.5 million. If that's the case, that means Southampton paid 20 million for him. That's not bad money. You know what I mean? Because they paid 12.5 for him to start with, another 7.5 afterwards.
I'll take that money.
Hell yeah! So I mean, 20 million, and now he gets to go ahead and play for Liverpool. Have fun. So I think that's good business, and I like to think that's probably something that's going to work, because I mean, you get a bunch of players down there who've gone down, played really well, and unfortunately Forster still hasn't, Forster, that's right, still hasn't, isn't, I guess, really is he really 100% back from when he broke his leg? Van Dijk and Ki Sung Young and a couple other people that have gone down there have all done relatively well. So Wanyama, for that matter. So I mean, if you look at that,
Wanyama's doing great.
Yeah. So I mean, if you look at it, you can get some really good. And I think the one thing that was interesting was, I think Sutton was right when he said, that they've kind of sold players on the cheap. So maybe that changes it.
Well, I suppose the selling fee hopefully helps things out. So we could get about 6 million for the guy. We could be getting about 9 million for the guy. I mean, we could be getting God knows what, but it's a good chunky change anyway. So there's no point in us trying to put a number on it, because we don't know. And there's a bunch of people on Twitter right now saying they have the information, and it's definitely this. And fuck us. Like, let's be honest with ourselves. We don't officially know. We're not here a lot. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to break down. We're going to talk a little bit about players that could potentially leave. Some rumours of people going out. Then we're going to go in. We're going to do another show during the transfer window. We're talking about other people coming in. But there's 2 people that are rumoured today, quite heavily, that have been mentioned in the past, and we'll come back to it. But we'll focus on the guys that are going to go out. So we've got these in 3 categories just now. The first category is players that will go out on loan. There's a couple of youth team guys, but most notably the person that's been spoken about going out on loan is Kouassi, who I'm a big fan of. Dr. J, you said you're a big fan of as well. Mm-hmm. I'd have been quite happy to see him get some game time, but it looks like Brendan Rodgers is really keen to put him out on loan for a while. So hopefully he goes out on loan, and hopefully he goes out on loan in Scotland to kind of get him settled here as well. Maybe like the Partick Thistle, something like that. I think that'd be quite good for him. What do you guys think about Kouassi go out on loan, Jogon or Yaldi?
Yaldi. I'm fine with it. Yeah, if he's not getting game time here, especially behind Armstrong and Sham, fuck it, yeah. And that's a good idea about keeping him in Scotland, especially.
Yeah, I think in the manager we trust, if he's saying that he isn't going to get a game and he needs loan time, then I think we've just got to take it like that. That's the case. It's not going to work out for him. So that's our one guy that's going to go out on loan. I mean, obviously there's like say Thompson and a couple of other younger players that are probably going to go out on loan. The next up is groups of guys who have been told they could probably leave or just aren't getting a game, and for their own benefit they should really be leaving. So Sviatchenko has been told he can find himself a new club. We spent 1.5 million for him. Copenhagen are supposedly interested. Sviatchenko leaving? Is that a Jogon or a Yaldi? Have we recouped the money that is for him?
Yeah, that's going to be a wash.
If we get the money for him, or make money, Yaldi, but that whole situation's a bit of a jog on for me. Doesn't really make sense. I mean, if he's not, rated, then whatever, but, I don't see how, especially the last 2 months, was he that much more focused on his Instagram career, that gonna get, a game in versus, Boyata. Like, was he that bad or that out of shape?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think
I see. I think he knows. I think it's kind of like the same thing that's going on last year with Commons and with Ambrose. He just knows he's not going to play, so he can go ahead and focus on making sure his Instagram, his Instagram game is up to 11. He just knows he's not going to play.
Chris, are you happy with him going if we get their money back?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I think
you know, like
you got to clear
I
him
mean,
out, right?
he's been hurt. I feel like, after his last injury and they're like, yeah, he's out for, a set amount of time or whatever. Like, after he came back, like, I didn't even know that he was healthy. I mean, like that's kind of where I've been with him. I kind of get the feeling that he understands that he's not going to get a whole lot of playing time, and just like y'all had just said, like, he's spending more time like concerned about Instagram than like trying to get on the starting 11. So whatever, get our money back, and I'm gonna get people in here that want to play for the badge. So.
And his wife plays for the women's team too.
Yeah.
She does indeed, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think what's refreshing is the fact that, like, in the days of Ronnie Dyla and Neil Lennon and all that, was when we had a player and he wasn't getting a game, he was punted out on this never-ending loan system where they've just said, look, we want our money back on this guy, we're going to get him sold, and that's that. So, yeah, I think we could be happy. Like, wish Sviatchenko the best of luck. I don't think he's as bad as people make out, but obviously Rodgers doesn't fancy him, he doesn't trust him, and there's absolutely no point in keeping a centre-back at the club if that's the case.
Well, let me ask you this question then. If Eric has been healthy and we send him out, like, the one thing that does bother me is that he never got a game, right? Because we can all sit here and debate like who's going in and out and this and the other, but the fact of the matter is that we need more center backs. Like, I'm not comfortable going into play Zenit without another like highly rated center back. But if Eric isn't given a chance to prove that he's healthy again and be the player that he was last season and the season before, then that's kind of doing him dirty. That, like, you didn't give him a chance to get healthy and get back. So, I mean, I'm a little bit conflicted about that. I mean, if he's just not rated anymore, I mean, is that the case, or am I misreading that?
Yeah. No, I think I think we'll get back to centre back scenario later on, but I don't think anyone believes that we don't need another quality centre back, and we'll speak about that later because we're going to talk about ins and outs. But yeah, Sviatchenko, he's not getting a game. The manager doesn't fancy him. There's no point in keeping him about. And I think we're going to get replacements in. We've already got Marvin Comperance. That's another person in the pecking order ahead of him. Ayer is ahead of him in the pecking order now. Boyat is ahead of him. Simonovic. And even those guys potentially aren't going to get a game sometime soon. So, next two guys up on the list are two guys with totally different scenarios. We've got Gamboa and Henderson. Gamboa's going to the World Cup in June. So, the only reason I'd say keep him is so that you could sell him on after the World Cup and you'd probably get more value out of him. But he's not really getting a game at all. And hopefully Ralston will be back from injury, so the number one and number two right backs at the club will be Lustig and Ralston. Gamboa's, I mean, when we brought him in, we hoped he would maybe kind of be a backup to Lustig and put a little bit of pressure on him to take his place off him. It just never really worked out for the guy. And then we've got Henderson, who, I mean, we're talking about pecking orders. He's so far down the pecking order. There's about 6 players ahead of him. He's just never going to get a game in a million years. He's been linked to Barry on a trial and also a team in Sweden, I believe. So I'll put it to
plus back to Hibs too.
Henderson. Oh, plus back to Hibs.
Yeah, plus back to Hibs.
I mean, are you happy?
As part of the John McGinn, as part of a John McGinn deal.
Yeah. So we'll get back to John McGinn later because I want to speak about him separately. But these two guys here, I mean, are we good to just get rid of them, or should we hold on and try and sell on summer, or what's your thinking?
I don't really care. I feel bad for the kid because wasn't he really super highly rated, when he was younger, and we just kind of kept putting him out on loan, and then nothing really happened with him.
Yeah, afraid so. Yeah, everyone wants a Celtic youngster to kind of do well, but just didn't really work out for the guy. Chris, are you you want him just to kind of move on, or?
I mean, I would like to keep Ralston personally, just because I think he's, academy kid or whatever. But if he needs to go, he needs to go. And if, between the two of them, I think I would probably keep Gamboa before Ralston, but I like Ralston.
No, I don't think Ralston's going. He just signed a contract extension. I think Gamboa. I've seen Gamboa linked to MLS.
Right, but to go out on loan.
Oh, I don't think he's going to go on loan. No, I think what happens is they punt Gamboa to MLS, which is a place that a lot of Costa Ricans now are playing. He goes there, and Henderson's contract's up at the end of May. So
Henderson.
So I think Henderson goes. They cash in on him now. They're not going to let him stay. Same thing like what they did with McGeoch. So they find a place for him to go, and whether or not wherever he goes, that's where he ends up. I don't think he stays past the window. They're not going to give him away for nothing. So they're going to go ahead and make him go on from there. So I mean, Sviatchenko in and of itself, I think Sviatchenko goes. I think there's probably I'm willing to bet they're going to look at Sviatchenko and Jozo going, and then they probably have one or two on the back burner that they want to bring in.
We're gonna come back to that.
Yeah. No, I'm saying I just think I don't think there's an issue. I think what Rev said was worried about, and Chris said worried about, not having someone else and then letting him go. I think there's probably if Brendan's told Eric he can go, then I'm probably quite sure in my heart that they probably have another one on top of Compare.
Okay, so the next group of guys coming up, we've got guys who have been rumoured to leave the club in some way or another, but are quality players or first team players that are actually getting the game at the moment. So the first person we'll actually talk about is someone who I can't see leaving the club this transfer window at all in any way, shape or form, but he is rumoured, according to Celtic Underground, to be linked to a move to China in summer, and that's Rogic. I don't think anyone believes that he's going to leave this transfer window, do they? We shouldn't get
No, he just signed a new contract too.
He's got a World Cup coming up. Yet again, he's got a World Cup coming up again as well. So the second he starts playing in that, hopefully he gets a couple of good performances. If you are going to sell him, it would be in summer. Move to China would be a strange move for his career, but maybe some megabucks going on there.
Most certainly. And no taxes either, by the way. Those contracts include paying his taxes.
I think that he misses so many games that if you were offered a really good deal for him, I think you'd probably just sell him. But he is a great player. I think he'd be missed him against the Huns the other day. So, so we're saying that he's staying until summer, and in the summer, would you sell at the right price?
No. I mean, the club will. Would the club? Yes. Would I? No.
Oh, you don't want to sell him at all?
I don't think I'd sell him. No, I personally wouldn't sell him. No.
Rev, Chris, Roger?
No, I wouldn't sell him.
Okay,
Nope.
so Revs, so we're keeping him. Okay. So
I don't know. I'm over the summer for the right price. It'd be a high price.
if he has a good World Cup and then someone comes in for him, I think you sell him because it's the optimum time you possibly ever sell the player. Cash in on him and buy another player. So, but then again, who's available to replace him? That sort of thing. All right, the next group of guys, there's a couple of other guys who have been linked to clubs. Simonovic, yet again linked to Burnley, but it looks like it might be a rehash of an old story, but the Bosnian Croat press have been kind of linking him again to Burnley for £8 million, €8 million.
It's about Jozo?
Would you take for Jozo? Yeah.
I saw Southampton today.
What's that?
I saw Southampton today.
Southampton as well.
Yeah.
So, we can only quote about the the story that like we know that a fee has been banded about. Would you take €8 million? So we'll just say £8 million for
Yes.
Simonovic.
Yes. Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
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 Red?
Oh yeah.
All day, baby.
All day, baby.
I think one of the things is like I like Simonovic and he's played very well. I think everyone remembers that huge tackle he made on Kenny Miller, which was fucking hilarious. The truth be told, that he's always injured and his forms went right downhill this year. And before the guy turns any more into a pumpkin, I think you would just sell the guy. And if he turns out to be a great player in England, then well maybe you'd have a sell on for him, but you know what, you'd have £8 million in the bank that you could go out and buy a real quality centre half with. Someone that's not injured all the time. So yeah, I think we'd sell him. So that is a strong rumour that he's out the door. The next one we should probably another random rumour was Boyata that apparently Atletico Madrid were looking at him, which I find quite strange because I don't think he's anywhere near the quality to be playing at a high spending club like Atletico Madrid. Would you take the right money for Boyata?
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Chris?
but it's conditional that we have a good replacement coming behind him because
Yes.
I do like Boyata.
Yeah, I think like any of these people that were suggested to sell, it would only be on the basis that you have
Yep.
a replacement.
Yep.
I think that Simonovic and Boyata are in the same bracket where I think they can play well, they can play really bad. I think you're better cashing in on them because there's a high value bid for them. I don't know how much you'd get for Boyata. I think it's more in the lines of getting about 3-4 million for the guy rather than this 8 million from Simonovic. But I don't know if I don't think he's going to be sold this window. I think he'll be with us for the foreseeable future. I don't know if he's going to get again, but yet again, he might improve with another more experienced centre half beside him. Maybe Marvin Comper is that guy. Who knows? Okay, next up, everybody in every club in Europe's linked to this guy now, Dembele. We were reassured on Christmas Day he was out the door, which was a lot of pish. So I think the question is, right, obviously we'd want to keep the guy who's a quality football player, but I think we're all realistic in respects that football's a business and we're going to have to cash in on the guy eventually. So the question is, do you keep him now or do you sell him in the summer? And the question would be, how much money do you think is a reasonable price to accept for the guy?
I think take the money. You take the money and you run. And once again, with the thought process of what's going on behind him, I know that they've talked about, and one of the guys that I'm sure you have on your list is Bendu, how they're looking at sending him out on loan to Oldham. But I think that I think you take him, you take the money on him, and you let him go. He wants to go. He goes somewhere. It doesn't make any sense to me to let him go. But if he wants the money, he wants to go ahead and make his 25-30 grand a week. That's totally cool. Down with that. The issue is he's not going to play in Europe, so there's no point. He's already cup tied, so there's no real reason to go now. The only reason for Celtic to sell now is just to get him at his highest point, the zenith that you can, and say, here you go, take off, and then we're good. Thanks a lot for playing our game, and we appreciate you coming for $500,000, and you can go ahead and go for 18, 19, 20, whatever it is. And if Brighton is where he goes, then here's the thing that I have, the issue I have. I don't know why people feel aggrieved by the teams that are rumored with a player. Like, oh my God, how dare Brighton say that they're going to go ahead? He's better, dude. Who the fuck cares? You want him to go? Let him go.
Exactly.
Who the fuck cares? It blows me away. Oh, he's better than. Listen, if they've got the money, you have no idea what's going on in the background. He may have two baby mama down in Brighton he need to go see. You know what I mean? You have no idea what's going on. And Lee Griffiths may have three baby mamas somewhere he needs to go see next month. Who knows? But the thing is, it just drives me crazy. Let the guy go. If the guy wants to go, he wants the money. Let him go. Go.
Well, two things on that, right? Firstly, see if we sell him to a smaller club in England, like Brighton. Chances are he's going to play well and get sold to someone else, just like Virgil van Dijk.
Exactly.
So there's going to be a sell-on fee involved to him going somewhere else. Whereas, right, imagine, just say the fee's £20 million, right? And I'm not saying that as a fee. If we sold him to £20 million to Real Madrid, then he's never going to get sold on anywhere. But if we sold him to Brighton for £20 million, he'll go to another club straight after that. So it's probably been our best interest that he goes to a team in the lower half of the English Premier League for a high amount of money, but I don't know if that will happen or not. Problem is just getting the right amount of money for the guy. If you're Dembele, you probably think to yourself, well, there's a World Cup coming up. If I go and play the English Premiership for the rest of the season, I could probably try and get my way in the France squad.
Hey,
So,
haven't we heard that before from a guy named Gary Hooper?
I think Dembele's like...
A little different. No, I get it.
Dembele's like 100 times the player Gary Hooper ever was. Like, honestly, like, light years ahead of the guy. I mean, Gary Hooper just... It's not even the same fucking footballing planet as Dembele. And there's people at home right now being like, what's you talking about? Gary Hooper scored so many goals. And nah, he's just nowhere near the quality football player Dembele is. You know, Dembele will play at a really, really, like, not saying that we're not a big club, but he'll be playing with an AC Milan or something like that. One of the really top, highest brands of European football at some point in his career. Because he really is that talented, I think. So, I mean, Chris Reb, are you happy? Well, you want to keep the guy, obviously, but what would you say is the right price for the guy? No, the right club, the right price.
Ooh.
I guess over 20. That's when I would start taking, bids seriously.
Yeah, I'll second that. 20 seems to be the right number, at least.
I think I'd want 20 with a sell-on fee. I think optimally I'd like 25, but I think I'm in dreamland looking for that. But you look at like the boy from Besiktas that just went to Everton, right? For what was it, 25 million? You should sign for it.
Yeah.
He just came from Besiktas in Turkey. You're like, you can't be saying the Turkish league's that good because it can't be. I don't watch it, but like you're prepared to pay 25 million for a guy who's 26 years old and plays for Turkey, rather than Dembele, who's a French under-21 who scores every time he plays for France. I don't know. I think
That's my follow-up. You know,
What's that?
that was going to be my follow-up to that. It's like, you see what other players go for, and it's like, how can you compare the two when, you throw out, okay, this guy's got Champions League experience where he's scored goals, he's got age on his side, he's got, raw ability, he's got, all these things going, for him. So, I mean, yeah, obviously, teams that want to buy him, they are going to want to pay less, the least amount that they possibly can. But, you think, be in doing negotiations, you're going to have to find a fair value for him. So it's like, yeah, if you see, Snodgrass and Andy Carroll going for like 30 million, it's like, how can you tell me?
That's already in England though. That's England to England. Those prices are just ridiculous. So the reason I said the Turkish boys, because like Turkish football, I mean the English don't respect Turkish football. They paid 25 million to him. They don't respect Scottish football. So yeah, the English teams to teams is just inflated. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, my two things were, if we do sell the guy, I'd like this: 25 million. 20 million with a massive sell-on fee, or ideally, the dreamland scenario would be this: him signing for the likes of Chelsea for 25 million, and we get one of their good starlets on loan for like 2 years. That would be a peach. Because who's the right winger we were linked to before?
Musonda.
If we get our hands on him for a Paddy Roberts deal, that'd be fucking superb, man. Because he looks an absolute player. So it'd be really interesting to see him up the road with us. Okay, last person on the list of people that are potentially going out, who's been linked to leave us for forever now, is Stuart Armstrong. Now, I'll say this: I don't want Armstrong to leave. I think he's a good player, and I'd like to see him get back to the ability and the playing level he was at last year, and I'd like him to stay with us. Because I think Scottish players, if you get a good Scottish player and they're playing well for Celtic, you get so much out of them. If you look at likes of Scott Brown, etc. So I'd like to keep the guy, but I'm realistic that we're probably going to sell him in summer. So what would be the right price to sell the guy at? Would you sell him now, or would you wait till summer?
I mean, I think it depends on what you're being offered, because I think Stuart Armstrong's the type of player that second half of the season, after coming back from break or whatever, I think he's the type of player that's going to improve for the second half of the season. So I mean, if it was me calling the shots, I would keep him at least till summer. But even in the summer, like, it's got to be the right price, and I don't know what that price is. I mean, what is the price on Stuart Armstrong? I don't know.
All right, I'll put it another way. Right, just going to put this number out here, and you guys say Jobber or Yaldi. Southampton, 15 million quid. And I'm not saying that's happening. I'm just saying
Yaldi.
It's a scenario.
Yaldi. But don't ask me. I've sold everyone on our team so far. We're going to go on the next game with we're going to play against Brecon City with 8 people. And
In Sam Gordon and Dembele versus everyone.
Fucking Paul with him on the bench and that.
Exactly. Yeah, 15 million. Hell yeah, you take that.
Yeah, I think you'd take
Rev,
it.
you take 15 for the boy.
Fuck yeah.
Right. Well, that's all the negatives out of the way. All the people leaving. So
you missed one.
Said that,
you missed one.
Who?
Someone down south who is on loan, who hasn't scored yet, or scored 1 goal so far.
Shifty.
It's Shifty.
Is he still on the books?
He's still on the books.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yes. Nads. I want to say.
Looking for a new club. Anyway, 3 people who I'm going to talk about rumours in now, which is a bit more positive. So the first thing that's more than a rumour, it's pretty much a done deal. Lewis Morgan of St Mirren had to have medical today. Seems to play in the centre of the park for St Mirren, but also kind of goes out in the left wing and hogs the left wing a bit. So potentially a backup to Sinclair. Played with Rangers. And a group of Rangers fan that is one of us now by the look of it. So I think the idea is obviously that he's going to sign for us for about £300,000 and be loaned back to St Mirren for the rest of the season, which is probably good for him. So are you guys relatively happy with that?
Yeah, I'll take it. Fuck it.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good to me.
I mean, well, the question is, I mean, you don't forget, through all this, you still have. I mean, you still have what's his face out at Aberdeen as another playmaker.
Christie coming back as well.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess for 300,000, okay, but I mean, don't you have Mikey Johnson? Don't you have a couple other people in the academy too? I mean, is this guy better? I assume that he would be, but I mean, it's just, I mean, you have all these players that you have right there, and I guess. Henderson, you're going to send him out. If I remember correctly, didn't Henderson when the year that Common scored 300 goals, didn't Henderson play quite a bit at the end of the season and play relatively well and win a Scottish Cup with Hibs? And I mean, the kid's not poor, but you have him there, and it's just weird. I mean, we keep stacking up these. You're going to go down a list of all these people are attackers, and 1 defender is what you're going to go down a list of. And I just see it as opposite of where some of our weaknesses are at this point in time.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think this is more a case of stockpiling talent. To me, if he's prepared to if we can make him a left winger and put him out in the wing and be a backup to Sinclair, I'm more than happy. If he's central midfield player, I think that we've got too many of those at the moment on the books. However, 300k is not really much of an impact on our outlay. I think we could bring him in, and with a few people going out, you never know, it might work out for the guy. My mate at St Mirren tells me that he's a tenacious wee player, he's harder than you think. He's got a wee bit of graft to him. He's got a nasty side to him. He's very, very confident. He gave me all the cliches of like, oh, he's comfortable on the ball, which I don't think I've ever heard any player, when I've asked about a player, not be described as comfortable on the ball. But yeah, he's got a good shot on him, and there've been a few comparisons between him and McGeady. So you never know. Could work out for the guy. Best of luck. Hopefully it works out, and he can have a good end of the season with St Mirren and come to us, and maybe get in the team next year. So yeah, that's one. There's another rumour that was floated about was Hendry from Dundee, who's a centre half. Dr. Dave, would that please you? 21-year-old centre half from Dundee.
Does it please me to say that is who's going to play next to Ayer if we sell everyone else when we go play against St. Petersburg?
I don't think anyone's suggesting that we're going to sign this 21-year-old centre half and he's going to be our number one centre half in the club.
Oh, I'm not saying that. That's the way I'm looking at it, because I mean you have compare who's here, he can't play, and then you get. I mean, I don't know. I just see Jenko has been told to go. You're going to sell Jozo. From everything it sounds like he's probably going to go too, and be smart to get rid of him. And you're left with Boyata. Is that really what you want? Is that for all the money that you're going to sell on all these players we're talking about selling? That's Hendry's the guy, or is that someone that you throw in and let him build up at 21 and then see what happens from there? I mean, I didn't think he was that great playing against us, and we went there and beat Dundee the other day. So
I'd be happy with taking the guy as a project, but I don't think he's going to be anywhere near the first team for a long, long time.
He's 21.
Scottish centre, 21 years old. Yeah.
He's 21. I mean, he's got to be now, right?
What's that?
It's got to be now. It's got to be now for him. I mean, you're not going to sit a 21-year-old till he's 24, 25 years old. I mean, in the Celtic model, you're looking to sell somebody by 23, 24, 25. Stuart Armstrong, for example. So I mean, I don't think you're going to take a 21-year-old unless you think he can do it right now. The only question is, I mean, if you got 7.5 for,
you take him and give him a year. Yeah. Give him a year on the bench and work him in.
Okay.
Have him develop at a bigger club with bigger players around him.
Yeah.
Have a guy like Kolo Toure taking him aside and showing him a thing or two. So yeah, for a 21-year-old for a few £100,000, I'm not worried about that. Rodgers obviously looks at centre halves that are coming through the youth system at Celtic and thinking, where are they? Because I don't know any that are coming through. What centre halves are coming through from the under 21s? Any Scottish centre halves coming through?
Who's the kid? Did we have a couple kids play? Didn't we have one play? As in McCart? Isn't he one that's coming through right now?
When has he ever been anywhere near the first team?
I think he's already played. Hasn't he already played twice?
For what, pre-season?
No, it did. I'm pretty sure he's played. I'll take a look. I'm pretty sure I know there's a couple kids who've played at that level so far.
What about Rev, Chris? Are you happy with the concept of signing the guy for Dundee, 21-year-old centre half? Obviously, with other centre halves also coming in.
I mean, sure. I guess I'm with you that if you want to take him on as a project, it's only going to cost a couple hundred, and I mean, give it a shot. But let him talk to Kolo Toure and get him some youth team experience, and get him in training with the first team and whatever. And if he shakes out, he shakes out. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I mean, yeah, I'm okay with that. Sure. I mean, at this point, we're building a hotel. We got the sign-on fee from Virgil van Dijk. I mean, yeah, let's just throw some money in the air. Come on, fuck it.
All right, next up is someone that we've got two last people on the list, but I'm going to have to head off. So we're going to have to keep this a bit more brief. But two people that are heavily rumoured, not in the press so much. Well, actually, one of them has been rumoured in the press, and the other has been rumoured on forums. Fairly obvious one, John McGinn of Hibs, central midfielder, usually plays a kind of sitting role, played very well against us, and likes to get set about Scott Brown whenever we play him. Now, I wasn't for signing this guy. I felt that we've stockpiled talent. We've got too many people already. I thought we've got Kawasi there. Kawasi's obviously going on loan, but I think recently when we played Rangers or Sevco, I just felt that we needed another like fighting central midfield player in there, and I think he could be that guy. And I think for 1.5 million or 1.75 million is probably what you're getting for. Wouldn't be a bad bit of business. I'd probably take him right now. I'd be happy with a midfield three of Brown, McGinn, and Ncham, and I'd probably look to have McGinn developing the player that replaces Brown. It's a hard battle in midfield player, and I think you could learn a lot off the guy. So I'd be happy with the guy. However, there's a lot of mixed opinions on the boy. Some people are like, I'd only take him if he's cheap, and some people just want absolutely nothing to do with the guy and think that he's not remotely good enough. So where do you guys fall on this one? Rev, what do you feel? I mean, do you know a lot about the guy? Have you seen him? What's your feelings about the guy?
I don't really know, too much about him outside of just the couple times we played Hibs. Although, after I think it was the last time that we played them earlier December, I just remember seeing one tweet from somebody saying like, "Oh, that was McGinn just basically putting his his CV together to sign for Celtic." And I'm, after that game, I'm just like, yeah, no, I could see that. Yeah, I wouldn't be up in arms, if we went for him. He wouldn't be, a bank breaker or anything like that. Same like with, Hendry from Dundee. It's not like we're breaking the bank, and hopefully these aren't like the end all be alls for these positions too. Especially more so with Hendry and center back. We don't really need a whole lot of help right now in the midfield, at least centrally. So just getting another player there, somebody a little cheaper, a little younger, maybe just to cover and see what they can do. If they work, they work. If they don't, no big loss, whatever. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
So, Chris, let me ask you something, right? So you've got the guy at the moment where you've probably seen him play for a couple of times for Hibs, but I think you can accept this. He's probably the best player, one of the best players in Scotland away from Celtic. He's just been called up to the Scotland squad. He's got stuck in against us, and he's actually played pretty well against us. Now, he's playing at a team like Hibs at the moment with players nowhere near the quality of us. If you get him here, get him under Brendan Rodgers, playing the way that Brendan Rodgers wants to play football, get him with Chris Davis doing all the sports science, getting him on the nutrition, the fitness and conditioning work that Celtic have, and having the professional level football players around him he has at a club like Celtic. I mean, you've got to see him as a bit of a rough talent, but do you not think that he's got the opportunity there to really go in and be like as good as an Armstrong, as good as a Brown, as good as those players, or do you just think that he's just doesn't have it? Or what do you think?
I mean, yeah, sure. If we could bring him in at the right price where it doesn't cost us an arm and a leg, sure. I mean, I like the idea of bringing in players that probably would shine more if they weren't with their club and they were with our level of competition. I kind of look at Johnny Hayes that way in one respect, in that, like, he was a Scottish player. He played in Aberdeen. We're doing this, that, and the other against him because he is a good athlete, and we kind of signed Johnny Hayes as backups for us, but also in the back of our mind, do you think that Johnny Hayes has gained some? I mean, because this is kind of that same narrative though with McGinn, is that if we bring McGinn in and he gets around some other talent that we bring in from outside of the gene pool, and we got him from France, you know, you get Gamboa's and you get all these other people from other experiences there, and you know you can bring out more, then sure, I think we sign him, no problem. But if it's, I mean, if you're talking like I'm gonna fork down five mil for the guy, then no. But if like we can get him on the cheap and kind of develop him, then sure. I mean that's basically like getting a developmental player that already has a shit ton of experience. So I'm cool with that.
Because the deal we could offer them, I mean, if we got anyone on loan at Hibs just now, we don't do it. No, we don't have them any loan. Because like what you could do is you could go to Hibs and say, right, we're going to give you Liam Henderson, and you keep him for free. That's a transfer from us to you, and we'll give you Kouassi on loan. It could be quite appealing to them. I don't know. Dr. J, what do you think? McGinn, would you take him?
You know, the answer to that question is I'd take him before I'd take the kid from St. Marin,
Yes.
Morgan.
I agree with that.
And the main reason is
I agree with that.
because you're if Kawassi's the man, I'm down with that. Before he hurt his knee, I thought he was on his way to go ahead and sit next to Encham. But you're looking at Encham in there. I think he basically ends up replacing Armstrong, who I believe will be off relatively soon. Eventually, you're going to have to find a replacement for Brown. It's getting to the point where he is. I mean, at 32, he's beginning to get a little bit of mileage on him. And I the McGinn thing I think is a great idea. I like that one. McGinn, Encham, and and Kouassi in the middle. The three of them, rolling through the middle with Encham, moving into the position that Armstrong plays. I like that. So that to me that's a bigger Yaldi than Morgan. That's just me.
I think it would beef us up. I mean, we're going to have to play a lot more defensively in Europe. I think we all think that. We're at the moment we've got like a number 6, a number 8, and a number 10 going out there, but we might actually have to play 2 number 6s and a number 8. We play these really good teams in Europe. I think if you put at the moment McGinn, Brown, and Encham together, and maybe in the future it'd be the likes of McGinn, Kouassi, and Encham together, it's relatively good balance. And I think I like the fact that I always like one Scottish guy to be playing in the midfield. I think it's an old school thing, thinking that it's got absolutely no common sense to it other than the fact that I just think that it gives you, I don't know, it just gives you a bit of identity there, and it's good to have Scottish players in the team and in the squad. But I'd take him in the right money. I probably wouldn't spend over about 2 million on him, 2.5. So you might get outbid by England. I heard West Ham are in for him, so we'll see what happens. Last person of the day. This is my last thing for the day. Then we have to shoot. I read this today on Kerrydale Street, and quite a few people have thrown this name in there, and I don't think it's going to happen in a million years. I'm just bringing him up for sake of conversation. Ki Sung Young.
Yeah.
From Swansea. And he's out of contract in summer. And apparently he spoke about how he'd like to come back to Celtic. He's 28 years old now. He's he's been playing the English Premier League about 25 games a season over the last few years. Probably developed as a football player. I didn't particularly like him at Celtic first time around. Just didn't think he really worked in the team. Think that he was a bit light in the tackle. A lot of other people turned around and said, "Oh, actually, he was great tackling." I don't think that's true. I really don't think it's true. I think he's technically very gifted, very two-footed, and a good picker of a pass. I think he would fit quite well in Brendan Rodgers' Celtic in the 4-2-3-1, but playing in the middle of the three. More than he would have playing in that 4-4-2 under Neil Lennon, which he just did not fit in absolutely at all. He was too lightweight for that. So the question would be, would you take him as a free transfer at the end of the season?
Oh, totally. And it's not, and he's been, and don't forget, Brendan's been linked with him before at Liverpool when he was at, originally they wanted to pay $7 million for him, when he was at Swansea. So that wouldn't surprise me. I did. The only thing I don't remember who was the manager of, was Brendan the manager at Swansea when he got there, or is he already gone? Do you remember?
No, I think he left by that
He'd
point.
already left by then, right? Okay.
I think he played under Laudrup.
Laudrup, that's right.
Michael
That's
Laudrup.
right. Yeah, right. Right. So he had just left and then they brought him in. Yeah. So yeah, that you know, that wouldn't surprise me. And you know, and remember that midfield was decent back then. You know, he couldn't get a game.
I don't think he. I just don't think he fit in that 4-4-2 system at all. I didn't like him when he was a Celtic player. I just don't think he fit in the team. I felt he was a technically talented player. He just wasn't really that effective for us.
But we're not playing a Lenny game now. I don't think you can compare the way this team plays versus the way Lenny's team played. Can you? You can't. You can't draw a parallel between the two.
I actually said, I think I said last season on the show that Ki-Sung Young would have fit in this team.
Yeah.
In that role, in that number 10 role that Rodgers plays. I don't know. I mean, is he a better player than Rodgers? So maybe he's very two-footed. He's. I think I'd maybe drive with Rodgers. Rodgers, you know. Chris.
I mean, that's a $1 million question there, because I liked Ki-Sung Young when he was here before. I would like to have him again. Is he better than Rogic? I don't know. I mean, you know, I think Rogic had been kind of leg weary with Australia duty and whatever. So I definitely want Ki-Sung Young back. Just from a personal standpoint, because like me and one of my buddies like really got into Ki-Sung Young for a while, but I don't know, man. I really don't know. I would definitely take him, but do I want him to kind of replace Rogic? I don't want that, because I really like Tom Rogic, so I'm torn, man. I don't know.
28 as well, so, I mean, a couple of seasons out, you'd probably have to sell him on again to kind of keep our business model. So I think, he's technically gifted, would fit in our team quite well, a lot better than Lenny's team, but no, I think, probably a good bit of business if you picked him up on a free, but I think, again, just like being 28, I mean, we usually shift players on at 30, so don't know how effective it would be, but don't know. Interesting to think about anyway. So guys, I'm gonna have to shoot off. Anything else? Anyone wants to speak about, or?
All set, man.
Well,
you have fun. Stay warm.
What's that?
I said, stay warm. Stay warm. It's gonna be cold up there.
Well, it's going to be negative 27 at the weekend. So.
Ooh, that's disgustingly brutal.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not the best.
No thanks. No thanks. All right, man.
Yeah, that's for Saturday. It's gonna be.
You know what?
It's I don't even know what that is in Celsius.
Fucking cold. That's what it is.
It's just fucking cold, man.
Just fucking cold. You realize, like, from an anatomy physiology standpoint, once it gets past a certain point, you don't feel cold anymore. It's just pain.
Dude, my sister-in-law just came back from Antarctica, so like I could never do that.
Was it cold?
I'm
Well,
just
it's
like, that's
actually-
fucking crazy.
in Ottawa and in Montreal the other week, it was actually colder here than it was in the North Pole. Now, I know the North Pole's not Antarctica, but fuck's sake, it's a similar sort of thing, isn't it? But yeah, pretty crazy. You know what? I would rather be here in the cold rather than be in Florida at the moment. You know why?
Oh yes.
Oh, the Huns are there now, right?
That's where the fucking Huns are going.
Yeah, where
They're gonna get
they going to
scalped
Orlando or something?
Minerals youth team by the sound of it. I saw pictures up there. You'd love it, right? It actually has a picture of who's their fucking centre forward that missed three good chances against us. Absolute sitters.
Oh yeah.
Hun number 3.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Go ahead.
Number 3.
Not Cordoza, the other guy.
It actually says World's Best Soccer, January, and then the dates. And a picture of him in the middle. It's like the star attraction. I kid you not, when I saw the poster down in Florida.
You talking about the Florida Cup thing?
Was that?
You talking about the Florida Cup? That's what it is.
Florida Cup.
Florida Cup.
Experience of World's Best Soccer, January 10th to 20th, 2018. And it's got a picture of fucking Alfredo Morelos.
Oh, Morelos.
FC.
There you go.
Fuck's sake.
It's funny, you know what? You know, Rangers are listed here as from Glasgow, United Kingdom. On the website, I swear to you. FloridaCup.com. Rangers from Glasgow, United Kingdom.
And they're probably okay with that.
Yeah, they're probably okay with that.
It's Florida, man. It's Mickey Mouse and, buy our shit.
That's basically it,
They
isn't
are a
it?
Mickey Mouse team.
They are. They are.
They're fucking goofy.
Fucking. Just think how tanned Kenny Miller's going to be when he comes back, man.
Kenny Miller. Fucking, he is.
Anyway, boys.
Anyway, ridiculous.
I'm going to have to love you and leave you, so we're going to call it a night.
Later, man.
Do a show in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, you're going to go. I got a couple more things I want to talk about, so if you're going to go, I'll chat with you later. Whoever wants to stay, I just want to go through some other news.
Hell, Paul.
Later, bub.
Easy, guys. Bye.
Cheers, Paul.
Because I know we can't go, Chris, unless you get to talk about some. And I know Rev too, because the two of you are Instagram divas. So you want to talk about some Instagram pictures that we've seen? Divas, yes, the two of you are. You guys are always on Instagram.
No, I mean like I throw shit up there, but I'm not hanging out for hours on end. But proceed with what you're talking about.
There you go. The first one is apparently on Instagram or on Facebook and some Twitter stuff. Do you want to go ahead and address the KT Tenerife picture?
That's fucking brilliant. That's what it is. I mean, the kid's my fucking hero. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say. The cat goes on vacation and gets mobbed by Celtic fans and shows up in the centennial or the centenary top, and just like casually strolling out there and taking pictures of the fans or whatever, and like you're sitting there wondering the whole time. You're like, I mean, is this real life? Is it Kieran Tierney like the only thing that really matters as far as football goes? Because like he's just an outstanding guy. Like he's a great player, and he's been playing well for seasons on end now, but he shows up on vacation and is still living the mantra. So I mean, he's my hero. So whatever.
Like I just got a kick out of it because like he basically went on vacation in his work clothes.
I mean,
in his work clothes. That's funny.
I agree with all that. That comment itself was hilarious. But like the thing of it is like that kid never watches off Celtic. Like it is permanently tattooed on his heart.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like I think the deeper meaning for me, I guess I read more into like the deep meaning of like what life is or whatever, but um, KT, if he wasn't playing for Celtic, he would be buying tickets to watch Celtic. And I mean, somebody threw that up on Twitter the other day, and they kind of brought it home where I was like, this kid like really loves Celtic just as much as every one of us. So like to have him on the team is like the best thing ever. I mean, I don't really know what else to say.
Like the Christmas video where he's wearing,
Yeah.
the onesie and stuff. I'm like, I bet he really owns that. That wasn't a joke just
Yeah.
for the video. He really owns that.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Is like all these things that people are like, oh well, he just like shows up because he thinks he's going to get attention in the Celtic top. No, that's pretty much all he brought because that's what he would wear
That's what I would
if
wear.
he was on vacation.
Well, I don't understand. That's what I would do.
I don't know. Guys is the fucking legend. So
That's all. I mean, I have no. I mean, when I go somewhere, that's all I ever wear. I went to a football game this past weekend. It was in Memphis. I went to the Liberty Bowl to watch my wife's alma mater, Iowa State University, play, and they won their game, which was great, against Memphis, which was wonderful. And everyone else there is wearing, this blue from Memphis, or this red and yellow, red and gold from Iowa State. And what am I wearing? I got a damn Celtic scarf on. It's just if you go out, I mean, that's what you always wear. I mean, I understand, so for him to wear that's just what he does, right?
yeah, I mean, it's like being jumped into a gang. Like it's jumped in and jumped out. I mean, you just do what you're normally doing. Like you're just wearing a Celtic scarf or whatever, and you show up and just keep doing what you're doing, and it's kind of like being in a gang. That's the only way to describe it.
Yeah, that one is useless. The complaining about that is crazy. I thought it was awesome, but I would love to see him out there doing it. And it's same thing. And did I think Rev, didn't you post something about Armstrong is in New York City with his boy?
Yeah. Well, I saw Armstrong first. He was at a Knicks game, and then one of the other was like Roscoe Gospel or whatever did that. Gary Mackay-Stevens and Brian Christie were in New York City, so they all must have linked up. Yeah.
So any news of Armstrong throwing Mackay-Steven in the East River?
Yeah, threw the dumped him in the river, made him freeze his ass off.
Nothing about that? Nothing about that at all? Just curious. And then what was the Lenny thing? Was he was at the parlor? Is that right?
Yeah, he went to the parlor. That was on the 2nd. So that's what I mean. Like everybody must have been in the city while they got the break going on.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys. I mean, if I was making 25, 30,000, I mean, making good money and had a week off to do something, I don't think New York City is where I go. Rev? I mean, you get a week off, you're making 10, 15 grand a week. I mean, is New York City the place you go?
I mean, I could pop there, yeah, at any time, so it's not really like a big deal. But no, especially not in the winter because it'd be cold. I want to go somewhere tropical. But I mean, you see like other people like Dembele's in like Dubai, I think. The other players are going, warmer, locations or home or whatever. So
where would you go, Rev? Where would you go? You get a week off. Where are you going? You're a professional footballer. Where are you going for a week? You live in the New York area. Obviously, New York's not it. You're going someplace warm. Where's it going?
like Caribbean somewhere, tropical, Hawaii maybe.
There you go. That's smart. Hawaii's probably out of the question for them. It's just too far to go
Yeah.
for them. But yeah, I'm with you there on that one. Chris, where would you go?
Probably like Belize.
Nice.
Belize or I don't know, the Lesser Antilles are probably nice this time of year.
You'd have to pick me up off the floor in Cabo San Lucas.
Good choice.
Man, I
Good
love
choice.
that place. Oh my god, I love that place. What a fucking I'd pass on Cancun and I'd fly right over and go straight to Cabo.
Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't it get like cooler on the Baja Peninsula?
It's the Baja Peninsula isn't necessarily beachy as much as it is tropical because it's close to the equator, closer to the equator. It isn't that bad. It's probably I was there for Christmas, not this year, but last year, and it was in the neighborhood of 82, 84 during the day, 79, 75 at night.
Yeah, it's not bad.
No, I love Cabo is like my favorite place to go, and there's some really 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 nice places there you can go chill out. But if I had a week off, nothing to do, and I was living in Scotland, I'd be somewhere in Cabo, Puerto Vallarta, Cabo, somewhere, probably Cabo. No one's gonna know who the fuck I am. I'll be down there, especially they're not gonna understand a word you say, so it's all good. No one's gonna know a thing. So let's see. I don't know if we're gonna get on again before we play again. So let's play a quick little game because I know Chris, you got to run. Who do you think? I mean, you're gonna pick a team. Give me a team you think is gonna play in January. Who do you think Brendan picks? Give me a team you think Brendan picks for January.
Oh, blah, 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 blah. All right. Let's go. Now, is this probable team?
Yeah.
Or definitely first team? Because I think
give me a starting 11. Who we play? Yeah, give me starting 11.
Starting 11. Okay. I'll go with Gordon, Boyata, Lustig. This is I'm running into stuff because of the transfer window. Because I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, I'd say Jozo, but he may be gone.
Right.
Iyer.
Yeah.
Tierney. Incham. Brown. Armstrong.
Ooh, you think he stays?
Yeah. I think he stays during this window, and I think if he goes anywhere, he'll go in the summer. And then Sinclair's going to get a game.
Mm-hmm.
Griffiths is going to get a game.
There you go. Forrest
McGregor is going to get a game.
Forrest McGregor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think Dembele's gone?
Yeah. I don't think Dembele's gone, but I think he's not starting.
Ooh.
Because I think there is a probability of him being gone. I don't want him to go, but I think there's a likely chance that he will. But I think Griffiths after this break is going to be ready to be hungry again.
If we're picking the starting 11 for the Brecon City game, I put Comper, right?
Mm-hmm.
I put him in.
Yep.
Probably and Comper because he'll have a good 3 weeks or so, if not longer, because I think he got to even leave early.
Right.
So he'll have let's just say a month of time to
right
get acclimated with the team and stuff. So and against Brecon City. Why not?
Right.
So I think he'd probably start that game.
That's what I had. Forrest, Sinclair, Griff, Roderick, Brown, and Cham. Lustig, Compare, Ayer, Tierney, and Gordon. Yeah, I think you're going to start to see Brendan start to put a little spin on this team. I honestly believe that I honestly believe we're still ahead of schedule compared to where he wanted to be. I do.
Probably.
I believe we are. I mean, it mainly because of who we have and who he hasn't been able to dump yet is my own opinion. So, and I mean,
cough, near Beaton.
Oh my God, near Beaton. What do you do with him? No one's even said a word about him. But I will tell you this, and this is what's interesting about Beaton. If you look at all the praise for Ayer, what's the praise for? It's because he can handle the ball under pressure. He can bring the ball out of the back, a la Van Dijk. Okay. Well, why is that? Well, because he's a midfielder. That's the same thing that Beaton was being praised for. He just needs to learn the defensive side. And remember, from a defensive side, Near Beaton basically is just learning how to play.
That's right.
And that puts him a year behind Ayer, because Ayer played a little bit and then went on loan to Killy and did really well for Killy. Basically, he kept them out of getting into the relegation scrap that could have made it a lot worse than what it was. So, I think that the Near Beaton thing, maybe he's putting his eggs in that basket, saying that he's got a tall, talented player who can play the ball at the back, can play multiple positions. Maybe that's the case. Because here's the one thing we haven't heard. We haven't heard a word about him going anywhere. No rumors, no nothing, which doesn't surprise me.
Which is why I brought it up, honestly, because like the talk for the longest time has always been like, well, we need to punt Beaton because he's, whatever, da-da-da-da-da. But the fact of the matter is that he's still there. He has no signs of going anywhere. And maybe you're right. Maybe, Beaton's just gaining experience behind the scenes. I don't know.
Yep. Maybe that's the case. I don't
know.
So I'm with you there, man. So end of the year, you're get Christopher. We go. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Give me your moment of 2017.
Moment of 2017 was when we lifted the Scottish Cup and we had won the treble.
Roderick goal in the 199th minute.
Yeah, the Roderick goal and I mean all of that. I think if you were going to say if there's one thing, that's what it was. That moment.
Yep. I think so too.
I don't know. I don't know how else you beat it.
I think you're right. And that's going to be. I think that's the moment. That's for the calendar year. That's it. What's your last one? Your best memory of this season so far?
This season so far. I don't know. There's been some really, really good moments, and there's been some really, really kind of moments. I would say the away win in Europe, and the name is escaping me because I'm tired.
At Anderlecht.
For that basically allowed us to have,
I didn't even think about that one.
The 3-0 away at Anderlecht, I think that was a highlight. I don't know, man. The rest of it's just been kind of work.
I was going to say, to me, I mean, that's a big one. I forgot about that one. To me, I would say the 3-0 away win to Aberdeen and Tierney's goal. I thought that was another stamp of authority to put that on that one. And it's not even the Huns game. Go there, beat them 2-0. No big deal. Whatever. That game at Aberdeen, because they had won 3 or 4 in a row, 4 whatever it was.
Yeah, I think so. And they were kind of hungry for getting a victory.
Yeah.
So
to me, that's obviously a League Cup win against Motherwell. I'll give you that one. But that was a 5-0 thrashing against Astana. That's another good one too.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
I was just thinking of the Patty Roberts goal when he goes over to the corner and standing there, arms open and everything. I'm like that was a moment. That was a moment because I want to say that he had signed on the dotted line. So many days till then to Ben.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was kind of talking about that, the return of Patty Roberts or whatever.
Yeah.
But,
I think the low point of the season so far is the bottle that the Linfield fans threw at Lee Griffiths, not because they threw the bottle, but because they wasted half a fucking bottle of Buckfast.
Yeah. I actually have that as a how you assign pictures to different people, like in your contacts list or whatever. So I actually have that as one particular person's contact list. So
with him holding the bottle out.
So somebody's calling me and it shows the picture. It's just it's Lee Griffiths holding the bottle of Buckfast, going, huh?
All right, man. I know you've got to run. You've actually stuck in there longer than I thought you were going to. I mean, Mrs. Amanda's ready for you to do some work.
I want to be a team player. I want to support, smell the glove and do
do the right thing.
Bits and, I don't want to do a whole bunch of stuff and then just be like, all right, see y'all.
I gotta go. See you later.
Yeah.
All right, man.
But,
hi, dude. It's Happy New Year to you.
Everybody stay warm.
I will. Hail. Hopefully, it will be a little bit warmer. I actually have to go to Florida tomorrow, so it'll be good.
Yeah, that's good. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs, yes.
Hail.
Monday. Is that game Monday? Right? Monday's National Championships on Monday?
Yeah, Monday, 8 o'clock.
Yes. Georgia, Alabama. In Atlanta. You going?
I don't have $1,300 for a ticket.
Get out. That's how much they are?
Yeah.
Get out.
At least that's what they were earlier today.
All right, guys. If you're in Scotland, you don't understand what we're talking about. To watch college kids play football, like American football. The national championship game is Monday, and your team's in it.
Correct.
So Georgia Bulldogs are in it.
The place that puts food on my table is in it.
Okay, that's one way to lay it out.
Well, my wife works for the university. So,
that's right. I forgot about that.
So I mean, this is like my meal ticket versus the meal ticket in Alabama. So, I mean, this is like a big deal. But yeah, the ticket prices today, when I checked them earlier, they were the cheaps, like nosebleeds. They were $1,300 a piece. And that was on StubHub.
And that's crazy because I guess they call them ticket touts over there. For us,
that's right.
It's a way of life.
That's right.
Paying since there's no segregation, you just go ahead and you go sit next to whoever you sit next to.
That's right.
So,
but
behave.
I also didn't know until today that the president will be there and there's going to be all of this other shit going on and.
No, just sit in front of your TV and watch the game.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to sit in front of my TV because I live relatively close to campus, so we're going downtown. I mean, you can forget it. Like this town was going to shut
Athens
down.
is going to be an absolute zoo.
Yeah,
on Monday.
It's going to be disgustingly beautiful.
Athens be a zoo on Monday, Sunday, Saturday, starting Friday, Saturday, Sunday into Monday.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, like if you're planning to go to work on Tuesday, you're obviously got rocks in your head or something, because like people are already telling other people like, yeah, I'm not coming in on Tuesday regardless.
Oh man. So you only wish it was 32 pounds for a Europa League ticket. That'd be nice.
Jesus Christ. I mean, like, yeah, literally I could go to every single Celtic match. I mean, if they were that price. But the amount of money that people are spending on tickets to go to one football game, I saw you can still buy a box for the game.
Get out. How much?
Mercedes-Benz Stadium, $132,000.
Get the fuck out for a game.
Now,
132,000 US. How many seats do you get?
Correct. 30.
And then plus you have to pay for the catering. Correct. That's extra.
So like, yeah, you're looking at $130K for 30 people for one game.
One game. Plus a minimum of what? 8-10 grand in catering?
Probably something like that. But like, I saw that today, and I told my coworker, I was like, if somebody actually pays that makes me want to throw open every single bucket that may or may not be around Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Let's say it's 145,000 divided by 30 people.
Yeah, it's
only let's $4,800 with catering. Hey, listen, I've seen. You can't. That's actually, if you put it all together, you just need 30 good friends you know aren't going to stiff you for the fucking $4,800.
Well, I don't think your friends and my friends know each other, because if somebody.
Oh no, I'm saying we have the same friends, because I wouldn't put out the 130 grand either.
Right. I mean, I'm just saying, like, that would be fucking crazy. Now that's per person, so that means if like it'd be you and your spouse, that's
10 G's.
$8,200.
Yeah. It's 10 grand.
No, fuck that. That's ridiculous. There are so many other good things you can do with that money besides to do that.
Yes, there's a lot more wine I could buy for 10 grand.
Yes, you can go and do wonderful things for a lot of people and still live like you are the king of the world, and you can do all of these things and just spend it on hot dogs and
oh, you get more than hot dogs.
Cracker Jacks.
For 10 grand in concessions, you're probably getting a little bit more than hot dogs. Well, you might get a hamburger too, and a couple beers.
I was actually thinking of like going back to like the $1,300 tickets.
Oh,
just on that, like, that's just to get there to have a seat to watch the game.
Yes.
That doesn't include the hotel. It doesn't include
getting there.
The parking. Doesn't include
tailgate. You got tailgate.
Tailgate. That doesn't include all of the alcohol you drink. That doesn't include if you want Cracker Jacks and hot dogs at halftime or whatever.
Yep.
I mean that
you got to make sure you have the mother load in your cooler.
Yeah, you're about I don't know.
Yeah, you're looking at $5 grand. You're to go there. You and a spouse, $5 grand for the night.
That's just ridiculous. Like, average people can't do that.
I know average people that will.
I know.
That'll be their thing. That'll be their vacation for the next 10 years, and then hopefully the one team doesn't get blown out. I can't tell you how many friends I know, Clemson fans from here, who went out to the game last year and went and flew down in New Orleans for this past weekend to go watch them. They just, hell, I flew out to damn Memphis to watch a game.
Yeah, no.
But the ticket was like
I'm not-
$40.
I'm not criticizing people that spend money to go to those football games, but like
$5,000 a head.
Well, okay, so I knew people that went to the Rose Bowl last week, right? And there was a lot of money in that, but they could get a ticket to the game itself for like $400,
Right.
$300, right? That's at least doable. But like the ticket to the actual game in Atlanta, which most of the Bulldog Nation live within driving distance,
Oh yeah,
relatively close to,
or actually
to
next to the
Atlanta.
stadium.
So like,
Yeah.
they may not need a hotel, they may not need this, that, and the other, but $1,300 for one ticket for entry to watch a football game? No, that's just, I don't know, man. It's just like it hit me today. It was just like that was really gross how much it costs to go to a game like that.
Oh yeah, it's crazy here. It really is. I mean, you could look at here you go. You ready? A Masters weekday package. Right, so the Masters golf tournament. 2 nights accommodation, 2 days master badge on Thursday, Friday, which you got to give the badge back because they sell it again for Saturday and Sunday. Okay.
Right.
Hotel, hot breakfast at the buffet daily at the hotel, I'm sure, which is whatever that is. Evening manager's reception, so it's probably at another hotel. Custom travel documents. Ooh, on-site tour host to make you pay extra. $4,100 a person. If you want the weekend package, same thing, just on Saturday and Sunday. $39.95 a person. That's double occupancy, I'm sure. If you want the double Eagle package, which is Wednesday through Saturday, Thursday, the whole entire weekend, the entire weekend at the Masters, $7,600 a person, including hotel.
Jesus.
$16,000 for 2 people.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on. Come on. How much do you think the Super Bowl is?
I mean, you're north of that, I'm sure.
Because I'm going to go. I mean, because I know for a fact that my Scottish Cup final package wasn't anywhere near that amount.
But you probably had a better time.
I had a much better time. Oh man, let's see how much. Come on, tell me how much it is. Ticket to the game. They can tell me how much tickets are. They're not going to tell me. By the way, and the game, this year's game is in Minnesota, which is going to be an outdoor game in January.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
That is nuts. All right, so you ready? So you want a hotel package with a suite downtown Minneapolis. Packages start with tickets at $7,000 a person.
You're talking $14,000
for 2 people.
No. That's the price of a Hyundai Santa Fe. like
Standard package is 3 nights hotel stay and entry level tickets. That's tickets in the fucking nosebleed. You can customize with extra hospitality, extra nights, extra sessions, room upgrades, and other add-ons. If you want the Alma Hotel in Minneapolis, it's $8,800, almost. So it's $7,000 and $9,000. As absolutely just. You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Oh, and also you have to dress like an Eskimo because it's going to be like -18 when they kick off.
Yeah, that's right. And ladies and gentlemen, that for that money that we're just talking about, that doesn't include getting there. So,
oh yeah,
you got to get there. You got to get there. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, what we're looking at here is I think as far as I'm concerned, going to games in Scotland and being there and that kind of stuff. I mean, even even if I include what it cost me to fly there, I'd do that any day of the week, and I would be willing to bet if I took 4 or 5 friends over with me and I said, listen, you could spend $8,000 and go to the Super Bowl, or spend $1,500, fly over to Scotland with me, take the Port Glasgow Emerald CSC bus to an away match, even if it was to Dundee for that matter. Come back, a night in the port, a night downtown, and and one other game over at Celtic Park, and over the course of 3 or 4 days, you'd have converts in a heartbeat.
All day.
You wouldn't even give a shit for about the rest of it. It'd be crazy. Because I know that's the fact. I know it's a fact because that's happened to me. And you would just fall in love with it, and that'd be the end of it. I know all this different stuff about how much it costs is just, it's just nuts. If someone told me, listen, you get $8,000, you can go, you get $8,000, come to the game with me. You just buy your ticket and you're in. I've already paid for everything else. Like, fuck that. If I had $8,000, I'm flying to Scotland, going to 2 or 3 games, and coming home with some really good whiskey.
Yeah.
And, and a couple Buckies for you, and some more Magner's special bottles. Which I still have your bottles, by the way, your Magner's bottles. I can get those too.
Sweet. Yeah, we need to get together sometime soon. But
so much for saying goodbye. We said we were going to say goodbye about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know, but go Dogs and
Go Dogs.
And Hail Hail and Chuck Yarlaw, and if anybody's still listening to this, thanks.
Thanks. I forgot we were talking to be if anyone was listening to this. So how was Wednesday for you?
Sure somebody is, or maybe they're not. I don't know.
I'd be really, really interested to look at the demographics for this one and see what the metrics were. People tuned out at about 102 minutes. The last 12 minutes was like, fuck this, I gotta go.
Fuck it, I'm out.
All right, Bubba. Happy New Year.
We'll talk to you later.
All right, we'll talk to you later. All right, everyone. Hail, everyone. Have a great couple weeks, and Chuck your lot, and we'll see you guys soon when I guess just before Brecon.